Hey everybody, today we're going to be covering building basics, understanding the grid, anticipating placement of pieces. This is a basic video for people that are just getting started in Fortnite or older people who want to play with their kids or anyone who just wants a better understanding of how to build, why to build, where to build, etc. Okay, first thing, we're going to be doing most of this in creative, so if you don't know about creative, from the main menu, press square or whatever it is on Xbox, whatever it is to bring up this menu. We're going to go over here to creative and accept, okay? And play. Now, between these two, you're going to go to create, not play. And we're going to wait till we load in. And you should in here have a map. If you're playing by yourself, it will be the first map right in front of you, which is here. If you're in a party, it might be in another one of these portals, but you'll know it by you see this yellow thing, this beam coming out of it, right? And I've done some work to my map, so that this one, and I actually have several maps here, which I can bring up. But we're going to go into Lucky's super crazy cool practice map. Okay. Now, you see this very gigantic checker chessboard looking thing? This is the grid. This grid exists throughout the entire map of Fortnite. It's everywhere. And it's underneath the ground, it's underneath mountains, it's underneath buildings, it's underneath rivers, everything. And the reason it's important to understand is when you want to build, you build on this grid. And it's important to understand where your pieces are going to place. So you see this wall that's bouncing around, it's going to only build on this grid. So when I place it, it places on that line. Now, let's say that there's a box over here, and there's an opponent there. If I go to place a wall, I know it's going to place between this one and this one, because this line of the grid, very simple. And that's true of all pieces, whether it's ramps, cones, flats, they all place on the grid, okay? All right, so that's the easy part. Moving on. Okay, so to further illustrate that the grid is everywhere, let's just pop onto Horseshoe Island. You have one of these in your creative map options. If you look to create a new island, when you go to your menu, your creative portal, we've got mats. So look around, you don't see a grid, but as soon as you open your build menu, you're going to see your wall come out, and you're going to see it's still following this grid every 5 meters, right? Same thing with ramp or cone or flats or cones. Perhaps it's best illustrated. I just lay out a little grid. Flats. It's everywhere. Okay, so the grid continues off of land into the sky, above everything. So it's actually a three-dimensional grid. It's a series of cubes, really, which is best illustrated. Technique you've probably seen or heard of called waterfalling. So you can just drop, place builds as you fall, as long as you're holding your wall button on the way down. But even in the water, the grid exists. Okay? So that's the point I just wanted to make. So you're running along, and somebody starts shooting at you. First thing is the wall, so that you can protect yourself and take shots at your opponent with the protection of this wall. Okay? You always want to peek out the right side, because, volunteer, would you come over here for a moment? Because as you can see, can you look at me with a right-hand peek? When he has a right-hand peek, he's got a shot on me, and I can't hit him. You see that? because when you're looking down the side of your gun, the gun is off on the right side of your body, and you're completely protected by this. Right now, he can barely see me, and I've got a headshot.
I can't see you.
Can't see me at all. He can't see me at all. And I've got a
the tip
headshot.
of your AR.
Okay, so, but on this side, can you come over and do a left peek? We're both low health. Let's not shoot. And come out until you can shoot me. You see, his whole body's exposed because he's gone on the wrong side of the ramp, so, or the wrong side of the wall. So always go to the right if you can. Okay. All right. Now, can you go back a few tiles and shoot at me again, please, Mr. Volunteer? So I'll give our volunteer a big hand. Okay. So the next thing, besides the wall, this is a little more advanced, is, go ahead, is the ramp. Okay, now you notice I replaced and I can hold the wall through the ramp by pressing my R2 or my right trigger if you're Xbox to keep that wall healthy. Now, this is even better because I have height and I can take my shots over here. I'm not trying to kill him. You get the idea. Again, Mr. Volunteer, can you go up on the ramp so our audience can see? If he's up on the ramp, take shots at me, I have almost no chance of killing him. So if he's on a ramp, you definitely want to be on your own ramp or box up. Okay? Okay, next up is ramps. Obviously, they're useful. You need to get up somewhere. Right? This is probably how most of you are doing them. The problem with this particular ramp, if you're halfway up, it's not hard to shoot out and have you fall to your death. So, when you're building a ramp, unless it's a very short one, where you're less than 3 layers tall, you should fortify said ramp with a wall and a flat. So it goes ramp, floor, wall. Ramp, floor, wall. Ramp, floor, wall. Ramp, floor, wall. Okay? See how much stronger that is? And it's going to take a lot more to try and shoot you down out of that than this. So again, real quick, go ramp, floor, wall, ramp, floor, wall, ramp, floor, wall, ramp, floor. Oops. Oh, and actually that illustrates a point. Make sure that you're looking down when you place this floor here, because if you don't and you look up, that's going to happen. And you'll either have to smash it or edit through it. We'll get to editing later. So knowing how to build a strong ramp is important. It'll save your life more times than you can count in your Fortnite career or hobby or whatever it is. If you can build a strong fortified ramp, you'll be a much better player. They're also fun, but that's subject for another video. Fun with ramps with Lucky. Alright, so running along and I hear somebody coming, or for whatever reason I decide I need to box up. You know how to box up already, you just don't even realize it because you know how the grid system works. So you're running along, take out your walls, look down slightly, and spin 360 degrees. That's simple. Look up, put a cone and a flat above you. Now, he's going to try and get in. And when he does, I'm going to try and hold the wall, which is going to... I have to explain first. I'm going to... I'm going to open my build menu, and I'm going to hold the wall button. Okay? Go ahead. You can see that I'm keeping the wall. And we know it's my wall because you see the edit icon right there? That will not be there when it's not my wall. You watch him. Let him take the wall. Go ahead. Okay, now once that wall is his, I immediately need to do something to prevent from getting shot in the face. The best thing is, that works too, is to jump up and put a ramp inside the box. Now, once I have this ramp, that gives me a layer of protection, but it's not going to last long. There are a couple of things I can do. I can edit out the side. Okay. I can go offensive and edit the two corners here and go up for a shot. He's going to be down there. Most good players will anticipate this though, and more often than not, they'll put a wall there, as you should do if you're trying to take somebody's wall in a box, by the way. Or alternatively, you can create space. Go back and make another box and another one. Now, once you've created some space and you get better at editing, when your opponent comes in, go ahead and come in somewhere, Zega. Because it's all my builds, I have control of everything. And I can come back, and if I was being sly, I could even reset that ramp and come in. Okay? So this is all about controlling the environment around you by being in your builds and your boxes. Alright. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay, so this is how this is going to look from your opponent's perspective. You're inside this box, and he's shooting. Hold this wall, Zega. It's going to be... right? So, he's in there, but you see that he doesn't have a centerpiece. There's no cone, there's no floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up and take this wall, and before I replace the wall, I'm going to put some sort of centerpiece in there, because now I have control. Okay? I can edit. There's a lot of things I can do with the centerpiece. I come up in here, reset the cone, shoot them in the face. Do not let your opponent put a centerpiece into your box. You've probably seen the famous move, the Mongrel Classic. It's a perfect example of this. I come up, I take the wall, I put a floor or a wall and a ramp, I edit, I flip the ramp, and I shoot him in the face, and poor Zega is dead. Do not let this happen to you. Do not be Zega. Alright everyone, well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you got something out of it, and please remember to use code OGLUCKY, L-U-K-K-Y, in the item shop. It helps me out a ton. There will be more tutorial videos coming, everything from basic building and editing and strategy videos for beginners, all the way up to more advanced high ground retakes, tunneling, things like that. So please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Okay? Thanks everyone. Have a good day.